Hello and welcome to another bikepacking Q&A video. In this video we're going to answer a very simple question that I got in from Joe. He's wanting to start bikepacking and he basically asked which one should he get, a gravel bike or a mountain bike? So let's start with the gravel bike, and I'll be honest, this is usually my preferred option out of the two. I've taken this bike all over the world in all conditions pretty much other than deep snow. And the reason I love this bike so much is it's very versatile, and out of the two, over most terrain, it is the fastest. Because you've got a lower riding position, you've got the drop bars, you've also got the aero bars on mine, it just means you can get lower and therefore more aero, so you can go faster. But I also have smoother tyres and skinnier tyres compared to the mountain bike, which just means the rolling resistance is lower, the gearing is also better for going faster. That coupled with the fact that I'm in a lower riding position means on the whole, this is the faster of the two. As well as being the faster of the two, typically over most terrains anyway, the gravel bike is actually pretty tough. It's tougher than you think. It can handle pretty much anything in moderation. The reason I say in moderation is if you are planning on hammering it over really rough stuff, it's probably not suited to that. But handling a little bit of that mixed in with some gravel and road and cycle bridleways, it is a really good option. I actually run two wheel sets on my gravel bike. At the moment I've got 650Bs, but I also have some 700C, which is a slightly larger wheel. The 650Bs allow you to fit bigger tyres. So if you are planning on doing more off-road stuff, I would consider that as an option. Having two wheel sets really allows you to go pretty much anywhere. I swap the 700Cs on for the summertime, or if I'm doing a road slash bridleway, canal towpath sort of tour where I don't need really rugged tyres, and that allows me to go faster over that sort of terrain. And as well as that, gravel bikes tend to come with rack mounts as standard. So I've got a pannier rack on there, like old school, and as a result I can fit my Topeak MTX trunk bag on there, which is my go-to set of panniers for all my filming equipment. Now modern day gravel bikes tend to also have fork mounts and other fancy mounts as well, which means that you can take quite a lot of stuff. Now you don't really need rack mounts if you want to just use bikepacking bags if you're going to go minimal, but for me I like lots of stuff, so I like to have that as an option. Based on that, why would you want a mountain bike for bikepacking? Because the gravel bike can pretty much do anything, right? Well, not exactly. Let me run through the reasons why you might want a mountain bike over a gravel bike by showing you my mountain bike. This is what I use for certain bikepacking trips over the gravel bike, which I'll explain now. The first reason you might want to consider a mountain bike is they are pretty indestructible, bomb-proof in fact. As a result, it means you can pretty much take these bikes anywhere and they'll be able to handle it no problem. It also means that you can carry more stuff. As you can see here, I've got this bike in winter bikepacking mode, which means I've got this massive dry bag on the front, fork bags, frame bag, pannier bags as well, and they're all full of important stuff that I need to take when I'm going bikepacking in really cold conditions. I've got my winter sleeping bag, Arctic sleeping bag in fact, in there, and all of my other stuff to keep me comfortable. Now you don't have to pack loads of stuff of course, but I just have that reassurance when I'm going winter bikepacking or somewhere where I need loads of stuff using the mountain bike, because it can handle much more weight without causing damage. As well as being able to carry more stuff and being virtually indestructible, they also come with suspension as standard most of the time. Now you can get bikes with rigid forks and things that are mountain bikes, but most of the time you'll find you get at least some front suspension, but you can also get rear suspension as well, which means that if you're going over really rocky stuff or just jarring gravel, that extra bit of cushion really makes a difference, even if you go as small as 100mm travel, which I have here on my bike. I recently got back from the Canary Islands and there was one particular stretch of riding I did in Fuerteventura where it was like washboard gravel. It was so uncomfortable, but I could feel my front suspension doing the work, and I just thought to myself, every mile I was on that awful section of the route, if I was here on my gravel bike now, my hands would have gone numb. It was that jarring. I could feel the suspension doing its work, and that was only with 100mm of travel. So if you've got a bike with even more than that, even more cushion, you are going to be thankful for it over that rocky and rough terrain. Most mountain bikes also come with flat bars. Mine are slightly bent, but they're not drop bars like you get on gravel and road bikes. That means you can carry a bigger front bag or a bigger dry bag like I've got here without having to squash it in between the drops like you would with a gravel bike. So even if you haven't got loads of rack mounts on your mountain bike, it just means you can take more stuff in the front without having to do anything different at all. Speaking of comfort, even though gravel bikes nowadays do have pretty good tyre clearance, you're always going to get better tyre clearance on a mountain bike. As a result, you can fit bigger tyres. I've got 3-inch tyres here on my 27.5 wheels and run them at a lower pressure, which just adds to the comfort, adds to the grip as well, and just makes the ride a little bit more comfortable. And because you can fit bigger tyres and run them at lower pressures, that is the main reason I use this mountain bike over my gravel bike in the winter. I want to go bikepacking all year round in the snow, in the ice, and I don't feel confident doing that on a gravel bike with skinnier tyres. This bike has been to Arctic Norway with these exact tyres on in winter with a couple of feet of snow at times, and it was absolutely fantastic. I know for a fact that I got the grip when I need it and the confidence to go through the snow without fear of slipping. You don't have to go to the extreme of going to Arctic Norway. Even here in the UK, I go up to Scotland most winters to do some bikepacking trips, and even then, I'm glad of having these fat tyres for the grip. And finally, probably the biggest selling point of having a mountain bike for some people is the gearing. You have really easy gears nowadays as standard on most mountain bikes. This has got a 52 tooth sprocket on the rear and a 36 tooth up front. That means I've got a really easy gear going up pretty much any terrain. I'll be able to handle it. Having easy gears isn't just for people who are out of shape or getting on a bit. It's actually really useful if you've got loads of stuff. You'll be surprised when you go bikepacking how heavy your bike becomes, and if you have those really easy gears, you'll know that you don't have to get off and push pretty much at any point. So Joe, which bike should you go for? Probably both. Having both is a luxury, and it's a nice luxury to have. It means that you can plan which bikepacking trip you're going to do and decide based on the planning and research that you've done which one you want to go for. But I am a realist, and not everybody can have loads of bikes in their garage. So if you're the sort of person who just wants one bikepacking bike, you've got budget for one, you just want to try it and see how things go, then you need to think about the sort of riding that you're going to be doing. From my point of view, if you're going to be doing 50 to 75% of your riding on roads or cycle paths, then the gravel bike is the bike you should be going for. I mentioned before that the gravel bike can pretty much handle anything that you throw at it in moderation. So if you're only planning on doing a small amount of riding on gravel or off-road, then it will probably be able to handle it, especially if you can stretch to a couple of wheel sets like I do. It just gives you that flexibility. If, however, you're going to be doing less than 50% of your riding on roads, or you want to go bikepacking in all seasons, then the mountain bike is probably the option I would go for there. You know that it's bomb-proof and it can handle the road. Of course, it's going to be slower on the road than the gravel bike, but if you are going to be doing some really rough stuff or going out in the snow or ice, then you'll be really glad to get something like this that you can depend on. It's a workhorse and you can rely on it time and time again. Let me know which bike you think is best for bikepacking in the comment section below, and make sure you tell me why as well. I'd love to hear from you. Give this video a thumbs up and subscribe if you're not already, and I'll see you in the next video.